Hey out there. Well, one of Steve Olsen's friends has taken this picture and sent it to me and sent it to Steve. And we can clearly make out that this is the sun that the picture is about. And this picture is taken on the 15th with a Canon EOS 20D 8.2 megapixel Canon 28 to 80 millimeter lens, neutral density 4 filter, shot on full auto mode. And he says no obvious lens flaring, we don't see any. Only anomaly seems to be red pinkish glow around the sun, which is something I have seen with sunglasses on. The sun has been very bright, appears larger than usual, and I have seen the sun much bigger in the sky than this due to the aluminum particulates. And this is the raw image. Let's try and zoom in for a moment here. And one more. Right now it doesn't really look like there's anything particular about this picture, except the sun is breaking through a hole in this nasty mess of clouds. But the next picture will be much more revealing. It has been not tampered with, but done some enhancements in order for stuff to stand out. An adjusted photo he's taking about 1:30 p.m. at southwest angle. Brightness reduced 100%, contrast increased 100%, color temperature increased 50%, color saturation increased 50%. And all of these things are just my visualization and perception of what I'm seeing, and certainly do not know what they are. But we all certainly need to find out what's going on in our skies instead of being blind. Feel free to share this. Now, it says certainly appears to be huge reddish-orange debris field around the sun area. Yeah, the iron oxide. Dust. Mixed with meteorites and larger rocks. The area marked with the plus appears to possibly be a circumference of a large light blue sphere. 1/5 of the yellow sphere protruding. That's the sun. Green sphere with moon, question mark. Purple glow from behind the sun, question mark. Green striped sphere, question mark. Striped purple sphere with moon, question mark. Now let's take a look at it. Just zoom real good in, because this is good resolution. And we actually see something is going on here. What it actually is, that we can leave up to imagination. But it appears like we got one sphere here and one sphere here. The purple is behind the green. The bluish one is below, possibly in front of this one. It kind of seems like it's just crossing in over here, but it's definitely in front of the purple. And we got something green behind the sun peeping out, and there's a purple glow from the background, and you can see that right here. You can see the purple glow. So maybe these objects are much closer to the sun, and actually in our vicinity, and maybe that's the reason for why the uptick exponentially of chemtrailing pretty much everywhere now. And as I've said, I have been driving for the last year. Actually, I've been driving 2 years over the road in 28 states. And in that period, I have discovered that the chemtrailing is excessive now. Even in states where it wasn't so bad, like Kentucky, but now Kentucky is being hammered like there's no tomorrow. Ohio is pretty much always laid into what you would call overcast. The same with Indiana. and Michigan is being poisoned to death because all the trees up there are dying. So the concentration of chemtrails around the sun and blocking the sun, making the canopy, as I call it, these weird shapes of clouds very close together with a very tiny gap between them, that is obscuring whatever could be in the vicinity of the sun. And in some cases, this canopy cloud, the sun cannot even penetrate it, even though you can see that this canopy of chemtrails that looks like clouds are a flat, thin layer, but the sun cannot even shine through it. And I'm pretty sure you have witnessed that, and that's an impossibility. Remember when you were a child looking up at the cumulus nimbus clouds and they went in front of the sun and the clouds all of a sudden looked like there was a giant lampshade. The whole cloud was just lit up. You don't see that anymore. Because mainly the clouds we're seeing today are molecular artificial clouds. When you can't see through the clouds, no light is coming through, meaning you won't see something like this in the sky. You won't see this in the sky. This is almost what we grew up with, those of us who are in the 40s. We grew up with an orange sun, but we don't see an orange sun anymore. We see a bright white sun that is painful to look at. Another thing I also noticed is, even in the winter time, the sun is hot. When you are in the sun, it's hot. But the air is freezing cold, but the sun itself is hot. Meaning that there is a higher input of UV rays and a higher input of infrared rays coming from our sun. Or maybe they are coming from what is out there next to the sun, or in combination of it. Well, we will have to sit down one of those that is studying this subject on a top secret level, tie him to a chair and start plucking his nails and teeth out until he starts spilling the beans, because we won't be told anything. Pretty much. They have sworn to secrecy. And if they say a word, they can end up in a dumpster. They will end up looking like a suicide, that they shot themselves twice in the head. Stuff like that. It's just how it is. They want to keep status quo. And I don't really need anyone to comment on that one, because I've said it a million times to you. They want us dead. They want to keep status quo. Don't put those words in my mouth, because I've known that for a long time. They want to remain in power until the very last moment possible. If they give off now, people will come against them, because they have been knowing this for a long time. Yep, since the 50s. At least with modern day technology, they knew where it was. That's why they sent out the two probes, the Voyagers. They sent them out to where the perturbations of the Uranus was, and they found what they were seeking. And as it says, seek and you shall find. They found. And after that, their mouths were shut. They didn't say much. And now it's just a publicity stunt. It has nothing to do with reality. Reality is we have something coming, and honestly, it's right around our corner now. We just can't see it yet, but at some point in time, they can't hide it anymore. And that's the day I'm looking forward to. Over and out. God bless you.